An about-face from Apple. The tech giant denies its new iPhone has an antenna problem that needs fixing. But at the same time today, it announced a fix. Apple CEO Steve Jobs says the more than 3 million people who've purchased the iPhone 4 are entitled to a free protective case. It's supposed to help customers avoid the signal strength issues many have experienced when they hold the phone a certain way. Apple this week also issued a software update which it claims will make the number of signal bars more accurate.
Smartphones have weak spots. We made ours extremely visible. Some took advantage of that to demonstrate it. It was very easily demonstrable. We screwed up on displaying too many bars and made that demonstration more theatrical than it needed to be.
Jobs apologizing to customers who've run into problems and promising to do better next time. Ashley Webster of the Fox Business Network is live at Apple headquarters in Silicon Valley. So Ashley, what do iPhone users need to know about this announcement today?
Well, it's interesting. It was interesting to see Steve Jobs come out, and he didn't issue that apology, by the way, John, until some 50 minutes into the presentation when asked by a reporter, which kind of really set the tone. He was actually quite upset and frustrated, I think, by this problem, and basically saying that if you're an iPhone 4 user, you still have the best smartphone out there. We understand you're having some signal problems, but that's inherent in all smartphones. But if you don't like it, you can take it back for a full refund or take advantage of these free protective casings that we will be handing out through September 30th. And in the meantime, he said that there are teams of scientists. We've got 18 PhD scientists and engineers right behind me in this building working day and night to perhaps come up with a better solution. He says they even have cots in there where they sleep through the night to try and come up with something a little better so that, you know, the fix is not just a rubber band to put around the phone.
Well, as you well know, in recent weeks, Apple's come under all kinds of criticism for its response to the problem. What's the reaction tonight?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think some of the harshest critics were really looking for an apology right from the outset from today's news conference. They didn't get it. Mr. Jobs certainly a little more defiant, defensive, and at times feisty, especially feisty when I asked him the question that Bloomberg News have been reporting earlier this week, that he knew about the problem with the antenna and that he ignored it, and this was known before the actual iPhone 4 was released. Mr. Jobs, were you told about the concerns of the antenna design early on in the design phase from engineers, and how strong were those concerns?
Sure. You're referencing the Bloomberg article? Yeah, it's a total crock. We've challenged them to produce anything beyond rumors to substantiate that.
Well, there you have it, John. That's the kind of reaction. He was in a very loose mood, if you like. He's normally just doing victory laps when we see Steve Jobs as he introduces a new Apple product to much acclaim. So this was new territory for him, that he was really taking on his critics and saying, look, we know there's a problem, but it's inherent in all phones. That may not sit well with some of those critics.
Ashley, thanks very much. And Ashley, Apple's stock jumped a bit higher today on news that there may be some kind of a fix for that iPhone problem. As you can see, the shares pulled back, though, by the closing bell.